We're here today to talk about how technology creates an unbelievable experience for a grandmother and a grandson. And before we begin, we're going to talk a little bit about our story. And I'm going to have Bubby actually start us off.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bubbe, and Bubbe in the Yiddish language means grandmother. And most of my married life, I worked in banking. And working full time and feeding a family was difficulty. But after some planning and working it out, I always managed to have soup on the table every night when I came home and before I changed my clothes to complete the evening meal. Well, finally at 73, I retired and looked forward, like anything else, to a comfortable life without pressures and time schedules. Well, would you believe if I ever had a fortune teller tell me what was going to happen with my future, I would have said, I don't believe it. Avram, you want to tell them what happened?
Well, Bubby, what happened is that I happened to be out of college and I graduated from communications. I was looking for a job just like any good college student was. And I needed to find a way to break out into the entertainment industry. What we have in the entertainment industry is what's called a demo reel. It's just like a resume. And I tried to make one myself, but it didn't work. So instead, I actually asked Bubby to help out in making a video so I could distribute it.
And place it on top of the dough. It's delicious when it's done. My friends, I've given the recipe to my friends and they've used it for their meetings and all special occasions. It's easy to take on a picnic and all you have to do is we fix it up in little cupcake cups and it's very attractive and good. And the crust is so delicious, it's excellent.
And at the end of the day, Bubby really knew nothing about technology.
You know, you're never too old to embrace technology. And I still know, try, and everything else, and a lot to learn, but I'm learning. However, there's one thing that I still miss is to get the phone call from my grandchildren and hear their voice. I know, of course, now it's Skype, but they all don't have Skype. So a phone call once in a while, grandchildren, please. And then the exciting thing happened. After a few videos, Avram got a call from some officials who were having a trade show internet in San Jose, California. Avram, you tell them the story, how it started.
Well, we ended up going and getting a phone call to go to a video conference.
And what do you think happened? I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you and tell you. What do you think happened? Avram approached me, and I didn't believe him. Oh, your friends are probably sending you an email. They're having a joke. No, Bubby, it's true. Well, finally he got one of the officials from the Internet Trade Show to speak to me. And before you know it, we were on a plane to San Jose. And let me tell you, I was treated like a queen royally. And everyone greeted me, and everyone knew about me. Well, of course, I was over 80 years old. I was the oldest member there. But the funniest thing that experience that I had, two well-dressed gentlemen approached me, and they said, "What parts do you play?" And I said, "Parts? Well, you're an actress, aren't you?" I laughed. I said, "No, I'm Avram's real grandmother." It was exciting. I've learned technology brings back generations together. And I have to tell you, thinking back, what was my first experience with technology? And I remember in the 1940s, I was walking on at one of the streets, and I see a few elderly women standing on the sidewalk, looking up to the sky in big amazement with their hands on their face, looking up and bewildered. And I, well, what happened? Well, oh, we heard a loud noise high up in the sky, and all of a sudden we see this writing, white writing coming through. God is probably sending a message, but we can't read it. And I giggled to myself after I was a young girl and say, that's a jet. And they think it's God writing. First experience, technology's beginning. But you know, another important thing is tradition. And I'll let Avram talk to you about that.
Well, thanks, Bubby. As we were talking earlier about the idea of technology, tradition happens to be one element that our fans really love the fact that we encompass tradition. But when it came to a point of actually finding out what tradition means, me and Bubby had very different ways of getting a better understanding of what tradition means.
That's where what you call the generation gap takes place. I ran to the dictionary. Where do you think Avram went to?
Well, of course, I went to Facebook. And when I went on Facebook, I posted the following. Working on an audition speech with Bubby. Need help. What does tradition mean to you? Well, I ended up getting a response back that surprised not only me, but surprised Bubby.
I have to interrupt you within seconds, and here I'm still looking through the pages to find the definition.
So what do you think it could possibly be? So I had to post back, laughing out loud, can you be more specific, and why soup? Well, the response I got back, think about it. Soup is the epitome of all of the visceral and cultural parts of any culture. It represents the socioeconomic status, the agricultural traditions, the family traditions, the tastes and climate passed down over hundreds and thousands of years, put into a pot, soup.
And you know, soup, it brought me back to when I was working. What was the first thing I did when I came home? Served soup, which I had prepared before. It was easy. All I had to do was heat it up, and it gave me enough time to change my clothes and prepare the rest of the meal.
So to follow up everything we've been speaking about, we wanted to use this one final statement. We are here today to encourage grandchildren and grandparents to work together on any project they desire. Not only is it fun to do and create a stronger relationship, but it will pass down and preserve information and memories which has the ability to influence the future generations and change the world for the better.